And the dog is scared. Oh no! Goodness gracious.
This scene out of Los Angeles is unreal. In the San Fernando Valley, an RV driving out of control. When the news helicopter gets closer to the window, there's a woman driving this RV with two large dogs in her lap. You can see her ramming into a tree.
Slicing right through that tree there.
It shears off a side of the RV. As the driver careens around this corner, one of her dogs leaps from the jagged opening in the RV.
Oh no! The dog is running away. The dog is okay.
Then later, she strikes several vehicles, including this one.
Oh no!
And a car.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
Where the driver eventually gets out of the vehicle and starts running on foot away from that car towards a house in this upscale neighborhood in the San Fernando Valley. And CHP officers are able to catch up with her and tackle her to the ground.
Unfortunately, another day of severe storms, damaging storms that had torrential amounts of rain, and this is the byproduct. This is not a lake, this is a field that has turned into a lake, and you see that grain facility over there, that's surrounded by water. And this is a scene that's replicated throughout much of central and eastern Oklahoma. The rain stopped almost 24 hours ago, so this is very, very slow to drain.
This is the worst I've ever seen. We did like we always do, not knowing this is going to be a phenomenal flood.
The threat for storms that could have tornadoes in Oklahoma and Kansas and Missouri. Not just that, but they could have more in the way of torrential rains, which means more water, something we clearly don't need here in the central U.S.
A few hundred protesters say they're out in force to push back against those anti-abortion pieces of legislation that have passed in the last few weeks in the southern states. This is one of actually several events that have taken place at courthouses around the country. There were members of clergy, there were progressives, representatives from women's rights and health organizations.
Does anyone think that any of us, women, men, all people, will stay silent when they endanger our health and strip us of our bodily autonomy?
There were a number of those Democrats who are running for president. Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker, Tim Ryan, Eric Swalwell, even caught up with Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
I don't think that our country becomes safer, healthier, and it certainly doesn't become more free if we move backwards on this issue and push access to abortion care into the shadows.
Those Democrats that are running for president say that they are ready to bring this fight to the campaign trail.
This is the beginning of President Trump's war on women. If he wants this war, he will have this war and he will lose.
This is truly the wildest place I've ever been. Antarctica. It's the coldest place on Earth, the most recently discovered continent, but it's also ground zero for climate change. This continent is warming 10 times faster than anywhere else on the planet. The ocean, the sea that surrounds this place, that's 5 degrees warmer than it was 50 years ago. And it means that all of this ice that you see all around me, well, a lot of it is melting into the sea faster than it should, which contributes to global sea level rises. Krill are the tiny shrimp-like creatures that basically feed the entire ecosystem here, but they're having to come further and further south in the world's oceans to find colder and colder water.
They represent the health of an ocean ecosystem. To be able to have enough food to support a whale, let alone a population of whales, all of these things have to combine together to promote life and to promote food being there.
What happens when they can no longer find the cold water that they need? That is a big question. We're watching wildlife be heavily impacted by that change. This is a stunning, stunning place, but it is definitely at risk.
We're here in Riverside Park, and there's an unexpected group of summer interns. 24 goats that have been brought in to chomp away at some invasive species in the park throughout the summer. Plants like poison ivy and other invasive species are really tricky for gardeners to deal with, but they're delicious for goats. So they're going to have free reign to eat away at them all this summer, and then it'll be easier for the gardeners to work in the fall.
Goats are the ecologically sound incident. And it's cheaper than machinery, cheaper than people with weed whackers, and safer than herbicides.
The goats here are actually rescue goats who have done this in similar situations where they've been asked to lend a hand or hoof. The goats are going to be staying out here full time. They're putting up a couple shacks where they can sleep if they need shelter for any reason. The organizers are actually having a competition for people to vote on who their favorite goat is, or the greatest of all time, in their opinion. Mine has this guy, might win, I think.
Thanks for traveling with ABC News On Location. Ask your friends to join our journey.